Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I am doing a story time video. This is going to be the story of something slightly dramatic, interesting, and thought-provoking that happened at my bachelorette party. So as many of you know, if you've been following my channel, I had my bachelorette party a couple weekends ago and I was snapping a little bit, and I didn't snap a lot just because I was just having fun. That's the whole point, right? But I do have some pictures that I'm going to put on my blog of both my shower and my bachelorette party, and if that post is up, I will link that below. If not, make sure you're following me on my social media and I will announce when I post those pictures, so you can definitely see pictures if you want to. So this story takes place at a club, one of the few dance clubs in Madison. It's actually called Madison's. We found it kind of randomly. We wanted to find a place to dance. I didn't have a strict plan with the bachelorette party. I just wanted to go out and see what trouble we could get into, basically, you know, like just see what we could find. I didn't want to make a set plan because I knew if I did that and things didn't go according to plan, then it would stress me out. So I was like, let's just go have fun. I'm with all my favorite people. Whatever we do will be fun. Towards the end of the night, we ended up going to this club, and it's really like a big bar with a room that people could dance in. It's not really like a dance club, you know what I mean? But it was exactly what we were looking for. It was fun, you know, the dancing. And at that point, it was so me and 6 other girls. So 7 of us total were at this bar. So like if the bar is here, there's like the layer of people sitting and standing at the bar, and then there's us. And we were just kind of lined up in a row. All of a sudden, this guy starts walking down, and I know he walked by me, and then he walked by like each one of us. I don't remember if he said anything to me. I feel like he kind of probably did the whole like checking each one of us out thing as he was walking. And he gets to my friend, one of my bridesmaids, at the end of the line, and I'm not going to mention any names, but she did say that I could tell this story, so I do have her permission. So he gets to the end of the line and he looks at her, and I don't hear anything. Unfortunately, I did not hear this interaction. I wish I had. Maybe it was a good thing I didn't. But anyways, he reaches her, and all of a sudden I look down and I see her slap him in the face. And then she said, "That's rude. You shouldn't say that to people." And I was like, it just got real, you know, like what's going on here? This friend of mine is not a violent person at all. She's not the kind of person that would get drunk and start a bar fight. She's not the kind of person that would pick trouble with anybody. She would never start anything with a stranger. I would be more likely to start a bar fight than she would. Like, she's not that kind of person at all. So to see her do that, I knew something was wrong. I didn't know what the situation was, but regardless of that, I went straight to her and I formed this like block. So I put my hands on my hips and I stood facing her with my back to him. I just kind of stood there because I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know if like she was gonna keep hitting him or what the hell was going on. I didn't know. So I just decided I would just create a block there. So there I am, standing there like this with my hands on my hips. I look over my shoulder and I see him turn around. This was like a delayed reaction too, because I had time to walk over to her, get in between them, make a screen, and then he turns around and goes, "Did you just hit me?" And I just stood there. I'm like, because like there was no way that he could get to her between me, and I didn't know what was going on, like I said. But I think he probably saw me. He saw that I was creating a block, that she had like a posse of girls that he probably didn't want to mess with, and then he just turned around and walked away. So then I look over at my friend, and she's clearly very upset. So we take her, all of us girls rally. We take her into this little back like restaurant area that nobody was in. We asked her what happened. It turns out what he had said to her, he had been going down the line of us, you know, checking us out, like I said. He got to her and he said, "You must be a lesbian because you're effing ugly." My friend is in tears at this point as she's telling us this, and my heart just breaks. I mean, like I said, my friend is the sweetest person you can imagine. She would never hurt anybody. She's not aggressive, she's not mean, she doesn't pick on people. So basically, she was not in any way asking for this kind of comment. Not that anybody asks for it. I don't even know why I'm saying that. Like, that's ridiculous. There's no excuse for that kind of comment, whether you're asking for it or not. Like, no. So in that moment, when she told us this, we all rallied around her. You know, I was really, really impressed with my group of girls. Like, this was the first time most of them had met each other. It was just really special and fun. And then to see this terrible thing happened to one of my friends, and all of my girlfriends rallied around her and just supported her and stood up for her without hesitation. It was just wonderful to see. I wish I had heard him say that. I wish I could have been there for her in that moment. I think that I would have done one of two things. I would either have punched him in the face or the nuts, or I would have started making out with her, because I think it would have been really funny if I had done that. But, you know, realistically, probably option A. But either one, you know. So like I said, maybe it's a good thing that I didn't hear it. maybe it's a good thing that didn't happen, but anyways, I did feel bad that I kind of missed that. I don't think anybody actually heard it except for her. I did see her slap him though, and I heard her response, and I admire her for that. And she ended up kind of talking about that a little bit later, saying that like she doesn't condone violence and everything. And I'll be perfectly honest with you, I think that was the appropriate response, because I guarantee you that douchebag did not expect to get slapped in the face for saying something like that. He was trying to cut her down. He was trying to make her feel like less than he was, you know, trying to make himself feel better by making her feel worse. And he didn't expect her to react like that. I probably wouldn't have reacted like that if he had said it to me. If I had heard him say it to a friend, I probably would have been more inclined towards violence. But saying it to me, I don't know that I would have slapped him immediately like that, like she did. So I was proud of her for that. Not that I condone violence in any way, I don't. It's always best to just walk away, but it's also okay to stand up for yourself in certain situations. So another funny thing that happened while this whole thing was going on, like the moment that she slapped him in the face and he kind of turned to walk away, one of my other bridesmaids was coming up behind my friend who had just slapped a guy in the face and grabbed her butt in kind of a playful way, you know how girls do. And my friend, I didn't see this either, I heard about this, but my friend who had just slapped a guy in the face turned around, not knowing who had just grabbed her butt, and had her fist out like this. And then my other friend who just grabbed her butt was like, oh my gosh, I was so scared. Like I thought she was gonna take me out. She's like, it's just me, it's just me. And then, you know, everything was fine. But my friend was ready to like take people down. Like she was not happy. But then, like I said, we rallied around her, we made her feel better, we told her stories about like names that we've been called. You know, everyone's had some sort of a situation like this in a bar, I feel like, or at least most people have. If you guys want to hear the names that I've been called at bars and parties, I can definitely tell you. I've been called the N-word, I've been called the C-word, I've been called not very nice things, and honestly, it doesn't affect me as much as when it's one of my friends being called that name for some reason. I don't know, but that was that. We ended up staying at that bar. That guy ended up leaving shortly after that. Thankfully, we didn't interact with him at all anymore. We had a lot of fun and there was a lot of dancing. So the next story I wanted to tell happened at the very end of the night. Now, 3 of the girls, including the girl who had slapped the guy in the face, that went back to the hotel, and so it was just me and 3 other girls walking from the bar back to our hotel. And as we were walking, my maid of honor was kind of up ahead of us somehow. She's walking like this guy is walking like towards her, towards us, and he kind of aligns himself with her and then like gets up and are kind of doing like one of these like, hey baby, what's going on? And she was just kind of like no. The other 3 of us that were there immediately turned wherever we were standing and like zoomed in on her, and we're all just like, no, not gonna happen. I missed my chance for one fight. If you want to fight, I am ready right now. Like, you know, completely different guy, obviously, but I was ready to go. So he saw that and he just kind of trailed away. Like, he didn't want to fight, he didn't want to start anything. But the cool thing about what happened with that is that not only were we there, but there was this other random guy that was walking kind of in the same direction we were walking. So we were all walking this way, douchebag was walking this way, and this other guy was walking over here. And as soon as we started yelling at this guy that was getting in my friend's face, we were like, no, get out of here, whatever. I don't remember what we were saying, probably profanity. And this other random guy stopped and turned around, and he basically was like surveilling the situation. So the douchebag guy just turned around and walked away, and then this guy that had stopped and was sort of surveilling the situation just turned around and kept on walking. And I realized what he was doing was like basically ready to jump in and defend us if we needed it. But he didn't like say anything, he didn't make a big deal of it, and he just kept walking. So then I think I called something to him like, hey guy, I don't think I said hey guy. Hey man, thanks for, you know, watching out for us or something. And he just kept walking. Like, he didn't want any acknowledgement, he didn't want any recognition, he didn't want to be the hero, you know, he didn't want to take advantage of the situation. It was like he was just there, ready to step in if he had to, didn't have to, so he just moved on. And I thought that was really cool, and I think my friend didn't actually see that, and I told her about that later, and she was like, that's so cool that like there are good guys in the world. I think it's really important to recognize that, like, even though there are dumb guys that'll get in your face, and then there's really dumb guys that'll say really mean things to you, or human beings in general are like this, you know, it's not just guys, of course, but there are people that will say really, really mean things to you, but there are also really good people in the world, and don't forget that, you know? So before I wrap up, I just want to say something quickly about the actual comment that this guy made to my friend in the bar. If somebody ever says anything like that to you, it's unacceptable. You do not accept that. You do not believe it. Do not take it to heart. Somebody like that, not only are they obviously a bully, because the definition of bullying is saying something hurtful for the purpose of hurting somebody, right? Most likely because that person feels so bad that they don't know how to feel better other than to make other people feel bad. It's also hatred, it's also prejudice. There was definitely some homophobia in there. Like, why would you say something like that if you weren't sort of afraid of the unknown? You know what I mean? And I think that it's really sad that that guy fits the stereotype of like the stereotypical homophobic guy who thinks that a lesbian must only be a lesbian because she's ugly or she can't get men, you know? That stereotype really offends me. It's not okay to ever say anything like that in a negative way. Don't ever tolerate anything like that. I'm not saying that you should slap people, but don't ever tolerate anything like that. It's okay to let people know that it's not okay. Another thing I wanted to say is, if someone ever does say anything like that mean to you, just remember that they are the ones that are ugly. Who's the ugly person? My friend who wouldn't start a fight with anybody, who would never hurt a fly, who is one of my favorite people in the whole world, or this guy who called a complete stranger ugly and made her cry? Which one is the ugly one? You know? So that's it for this story. You guys tell me, what would you have done in this situation? If you had witnessed someone saying this to your friend, how would you have reacted? Would your reaction have been different if someone said it to your friend or to you? Because like I said, my reaction probably would have been different. I would love to hear if you have any similar situations or any advice for my friend or any different ideas other than mine. Let's have the conversation in the comment section. I would love to hear your guys' thoughts, and let me know what you thought of my first story time. Alright guys, that is it. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you guys. If you enjoyed this, give it a thumbs up. Make sure you're subscribed for more videos, and I will talk to you again very soon. Bye!